Hi, I'm Shannon from houseimprovements.com, and in this video today I want to show you how to change out a standard key deadbolt for this electronic style. This one is made by Schlage. I believe this one is model BE365, again by Schlage. Alright, so first thing we need to do is remove this old deadbolt. So there'll just be a couple of screws on the back. And just hang on to the piece out here. Everything should slide out. Okay, so that's that piece. Now you're going to have a latch inside. This one doesn't have any screws in it, so it should just pop out. There's a couple of holes in the latch. So the latch looks like this inside the door. And you can see there's a couple of holes there. I'm just sliding the screwdriver in one of those holes, and I can pull outwards and it pops right out. Okay, so I've got my other lock here all opened up. Now the hole here in this door is too small. This one is probably 1.5 inches. Yeah, this one's 1.5 inches. I need a 2 1/8 inch hole in order to accommodate this part of the deadbolt that slides in. This is the outside keypad. So to drill this out bigger, we need to get a 2 1/8 inch hole saw. Okay. Now, normally with a hole saw, you're using this pilot bit here and a center point, and that bit's drilling in until the cup itself, the bigger part, touches the surface and starts cutting. So this is the guide. In this case, we've already got a hole here. You know, how are we going to get it started? If you take your 2 1/8 inch bit, put it on there, then take the 1.5 inches, which is what this size is. This is now going to be our guide. We're going to thread it on in there, and we're going to let it stick out a little bit. You can see how it's a little bit proud, and then that, very carefully, will be our guide going into that hole. Now, not every one of these pilot bits is going to work exactly for you, so you might have to go get a different one. I'll show you the one I have. This is the better style, at least in my opinion. Some of them you just thread it on and that's it, and they get super tight and they're hard to get the cup off after. This one has these little cogs that fit into these holes to lock it into place. So you spin that on, line up the holes inside, and it locks it in there. And this one, we might have a little trouble after getting it off, but hopefully not. That one just threads on a few threads. We're gonna put it in the drill. And we're going to just nicely put that inside cup inside here as a guide. And then we're going to drill through. Just kind of start out slowly until you can kind of get your cup cutting. You don't need to go full speed with the drill. And you can see how we're starting to make an etch in the door there. I'm just making sure my drill, turning my drill to the drill setting so my clutch isn't engaging. Okay, so now I've gotten through the metal part and I'm into the wood, and now I can just keep drilling right through. Okay, now that's really hot. Don't touch it. Don't set it down on something that can melt. Just set it off to the side for now and we'll deal with that later. So now we've got the size hole that we need. I'm just going to get rid of these metal shavings. I had a piece of cardboard on the ground, because those two will be hot if you kneel down on one and poke. Okay, hopefully we don't have an issue with this frame here. Let's take a look. I think it's going to just get by it. If not, I may have to take a knife or a Dremel tool and just trim that a little bit. I'm really close. I think it's going to go. So our next step is we're going to take the latch. We've got the latch. Now you can see it's marked top in one position. Most of them want the latch put in, not sticking out. They want it flush in here when you first input it. The top marking up. Now the back set, which is the distance from the edge of the door to the center of this hole, can be different. What are they? 2 3/8 and 2 3/4. We've got 2 3/8 here. These are adjustable. So most of them just twist, and fully extended is the 2 3/4. Fully turned tight is the 2 3/8. Okay, so top mark up, slip it in the hole, and they don't really have that chiseled deep enough. So there's a groove in the end of the door here to accept that plate, and it needs to be a little deeper. So I'm just going to take a chisel and shave that out a little bit. It's not going to take much. This wood is usually pretty soft, so it generally chisels out pretty easily, especially once it's already started like this. I want to try to avoid going too deep. I'm just taking a little bit out at a time. And I will try my latch. And yeah, that's much better. So I'm looking for that to be flush right to the edge of the door, all the way across there. Okay, so we got that. Now we're gonna screw a couple of screws into here. I'll just give this a little tap. Okay, so just insert some screws. So these screws, I don't know, they must be about 3/4 inch. They all come in the package. So we got those in there. Now, if your door isn't already chiseled, or you don't want to chisel it, most of these latches, this plate will pry off, and there'll be an extra piece to put on that just allows you to pound it into the round hole. In this case, it was already basically chiseled, so I just left that plate on there, and it's nicer anyways. It's a little more secure. Sometimes the pounded in ones have a tendency to pop out. So next on our list is, this is the inside plate that's going to go here. We want to make sure this cam right here is vertically and not turned horizontally. So this one's fine. You've got a wire here. So this is ran by a battery, obviously. Okay, so we just want to be sure we don't pinch that. This piece here is ready to go in from the outside. Again, you got a wire coming through there, so you want to guide it up and over the latch so it doesn't interfere with anything. And then we want this pin on the back to not be vertical like that. It's got to be turned. Okay, so then it'll go through that little flat shaft, goes through the latch like so. I guided my wire through, and this piece here, the wire goes through this little hole, And our flat bar goes into this cam, back of the cam that we talked about. That. There's two heavier bolts, heavier than any of the other screws. So these two screws go through these two holes here and get tightened up. I'm a little tight on that frame. I may have to trim that more than I thought. So you can see I'm kind of tight right there. I'm not sure if I can MacGyver that around there. Well, I think I better just give that a little trim. Thinking I should be able to score that with a knife. Okay, so I marked that with a knife. I'm going to see if I can whittle out some plastic here without cutting my fingers off. There, I think I'm going to be by that. I'll get this part in, wire through it. Then you just want to look at the outside, make sure it looks like it's straight. You can see how I trimmed around there with that plastic. Snug it up just a little bit more. Okay, so we got that. This one comes with a battery. So I've got to hook the two wires together here. The one that comes from the front keypad, and this other one goes to the mechanism, which is on the inside. Get that in there. Put our battery in. Not sure if you heard that or not. It gave out a little beep just to indicate it's got some power. And these little wires are always a little tricky to manipulate into a position where everything will just sit nicely. This one's really tight. There we go. If you look there, you can see I brought this wire up around. And then this one here, I just kind of fold in there when the cover goes on. Okay, so you just got to line this here up with that shaft that came through. Just a couple little machine screws to hold that on. Okay, and then we just want to check this should move nice and freely. Make sure it lines up with the old latch that was in the door. Actually, it doesn't. I don't know why. So there's a slot over here. That's strange. It's strange that the other one did and this one isn't. Normally they'll line up, but it looks like I need to drop this one just a little bit. It's just hitting there, but that isn't a big deal. So it's this piece here that's too high. The bolt is just catching on the bottom here, so this has got to drop about a 1/4 of an inch or so. What I'm going to do, I don't have it with me, is I'm going to take my Dremel tool and I'm going to file out the metal here actually, because it's almost going to fit. Because otherwise I've got to chisel this down probably a 1/4 of an inch and then move the whole thing down so that these screws hit a new spot. And then I'm going to have a space up here to fill. But if I just take my Dremel tool and carve this out, I can get a good 1/8 of an inch or so out of it, and I think that's all I'm going to need. So unfortunately I can't show that for the video, but you basically just take your rotary tool, let's just say this is it, And you just go down in here and you just keep filing and filing and filing away at it until you've got that down low enough. Okay, so back to the lock itself. So this particular one, I like it because it's easy to lock. You don't need to put in the code to lock it. You just need the code for unlocking. So now that we've got it in, we just want to double check that it's working correctly. So on this one, I can push the Schlage button and I should be able to turn that latch. Okay, and after about 10 seconds or so, this latch should just spin freely. There will be a preset user code. There's actually 2 in here. So we'll just use that right now to check it, to unlock it. So I can just push the user code. You can't see in the daylight very well, but that light will turn green if you've done the right number, or red if you haven't, and it gives a little beep, but you can see that it activated. I was able to unlock, and now it just freewheels again. If we want to change that user code, there's also a programming code. So I'm just looking on the instructions here, and there's this tag, and it's going to have that information on it. And actually, on the inside piece that we put on the back of the door, on the inside of the door, there's another matching tag. So if you ever lose this piece of paper, you as the homeowner can take the back off, obviously, and retrieve the user codes. Not the user codes, but the programming code. Now I suggest you change that anyways to something you'll know. You do what you want to do, but for right now in this example, I'm going to show you how to change the code for unlocking the door, and we're just going to use a random number. So they've got pretty good instructions on here. So let's just follow it step by step. It says now adding user codes. So enter the programming code. So that's up here on this paper. So we want 618. Okay. And I got a beep and an orange light. Okay. Now I push that Schlage button, press 1, wait for 3 long beeps and an orange light, and then I put in my new code, 1, 1. It beeped again and gave me orange lights. Now I want to enter the same one again, and it's giving me a long green light up here. So it's saying that we've got the right one in there. So let's just lock the door, and I'll wait a second till I hear it beep, so I know it unlocked. There we go, or disabled. So now our 1111 should work. Yeah. So it's really not that hard to do, and they've got it laid out quite well here in the instructions. So you can add user codes, delete user codes, and here's where you can change the programming code. So it's all laid out there, pretty straightforward. It's a matter of following the instructions, listening for the tones that they say, and looking for this light color to change, and you should be good. The odd time you run into an issue, and what I've found is if I get too much in a hurry and I'm pushing those buttons too fast, it, for whatever reason, just doesn't seem to work as well. So just take your time, go through it. You only got a certain amount of time to go through the whole sequence, but I suggest you just write it out right on the instructions here, so you know what you're doing as far as what numbers you want to use, and go that way. But if you do have some troubles, just try doing it and just slowing down a little bit between pushing in your buttons. And I've found in the past that works pretty good. So anyways, that's installing the Schlage electronic deadbolt. And a lot of the other manufacturers are all really similar as far as the install. The programming might be a little different, but they're generally got pretty decent instructions included with them. So I hope that was helpful. Unfortunately, I didn't have what I needed to finish this latch, but I'm gonna have to go get that and finish it up. Thanks a lot for watching.